Exciting. We are live again with Invest in You. We have got on one side of the Atlantic, we've got Fredrik Sandvall out in Asia, and we've got Bryan on the other side. And today we'll talk about things that might be helpful for you. We talk about how you can be found in today's world, how you can find customers and hopefully get them to come to you. And we probably will throw in a few ideas around investing and also real estate and so on and so forth. So welcome. How are you doing today, Bryan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So before we hit record, you said you've been on a few other podcasts. How do you find that experience to be a guest and basically leverage someone else's distribution platform to get more reach and give value? How do you find it?
I enjoy going on podcasts. I have my own podcast, and it's a
Yep,
totally different animal being a guest
I
because you
know.
don't know what's coming at you. It's a little bit it's kind of exciting, especially when it's a seasoned podcast too, because the host generally will have good questions, but it's like I'm constantly on my toes because I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly. And for those wondering, no, I did not give him any heads up at all, basically, more than just the podcast name. So if he's doing a great job, that means that he's thinking on his toes. Talk about thinking on your toes. When did you think that going to digital marketing, SEO would be a good idea? Help us to date your experience, please.
Sure, I kind of stumbled into it.
Yeah.
So I got into digital marketing back in like the early 2000s.
Yes.
I was working insurance as a full-time job, and I found a website. It was called Odesk, which is now Upwork.
Yes.
And my buddy did SEO, so I learned some from him, and I started freelancing on Odesk, just helping people with SEO.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to turn into a business or anything, but I was just charging like 20 bucks an hour. I'd help
Yes.
people optimize their websites, and that's kind of how I got into it. And then I don't know, 20, 25 years later, I'm in business.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you listening in here, so he's calling in from Pittsburgh. He is SEO expert. He's investor in real estate and also digital marketer. So that means that we have got a few interesting angles here, and I think that pretty much everyone listening would like to understand real estate better, and they probably would like to have investment in real estate. They probably like to understand SEO better, and digital marketing and the whole social media thing is still a grind for many people, automated for a few, and uh, and still a mystery for most. So let's jump into the mystery of how can you even stand out in today's world where attention is the new currency.
That's a good question. And it's almost short attention's a new currency too. People don't even want to
True.
watch long things. So I guess I would take a step back, and if you're listening, first you need to think, okay, what do I do? Like, am I selling t-shirts, or am I buying real estate, or am I coaching? It's like,
Yeah,
okay, think first, okay, what do I do? What is my skill set? Like, what is my superpower? And then you think, who are the people that you want to help? What are their problems? And then you kind of reverse engineer it. It's like, okay, if I'm looking for people that want to sell their house fast, for example, what are their problems? You think, okay, maybe someone's in foreclosure and they don't feel good about it because they have a family
exactly.
and they're failing. So it's like, okay, now I need to be empathetic. It's like, and also one thing in marketing too, a lot of people look at leads and sales as numbers. They're people. So it's
Yeah.
like if you're generating a lead, it's like, no, you need to connect with that person and also deliver value to that person, not
Yes.
just look at numbers on a spreadsheet. So that's first how I would start. It's like, okay, think
Yes.
of the end user and how can you deliver value? And then you're going to use marketing as the tool.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you, when I started to buy real estate and to generate leads, it could be as simple to get the word out like, we buy houses fast for cash. As simple as that. But like you said, if you add a little bit more empathy and less focus on you, more focus on them, ultimately you like to fix their problem. If that is helping them before they go into bankruptcy, helping them to sell fast because it is a divorce. They're downsizing, upsizing. The reasons for changing real estate is so many. Can you give a few examples where people might be more distressed to me do a quick sale of real estate?
Sure. So, like one example that I think a lot of people don't think about, everybody thinks if you inherit property, that's awesome
Yes.
because they're like, oh, you just inherited a lot of money, things like that. But a lot of scenarios come up with, so I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm on the east side of
Yep.
the US. What if I inherited a house in California? A lot of people inherit a home. A lot of people are paycheck to paycheck, just trying to make ends meet in their own family. Now
Yep.
you have another property that came up that you have to pay utilities, you have to pay taxes, you have to try to fix it up. So people like that in situations, it's not necessarily they lost their job or something really bad happened. It's like something popped up that you would think is good. They
Yeah.
inherited property, but it actually created a problem for them in their life because now they don't know what to do, and they're trying to not lose that house while they're still
Yes.
trying to just barely make it on their own property.
Yeah. Uh, Again, not rehearsed, not pre-scripted. I'll share some ideas here around how I have sourced properties around United Kingdom. And if I think about my latest 15 purchases, two have been through some kind of yeah, it's from a buy from the state, basically from someone who's deceased. Uh, I would say most times it's because people are relocating. Uh, can you, on top of your head, share some of those like latest deals you've been involved with, or some of your customers, some numbers, just to pick any angle. It doesn't need to be the same as mine. How people were moving and kind of why it landed with you or your partners.
Sure. So one, I do have one. One of the more recent ones was somebody moving.
Yes.
So they had a property. The property wasn't in bad shape either. Like a lot of the properties I look at, they're like
Yes.
really bad. This one wasn't bad, but their motivation was number one, they don't want to list it on the market. They don't want a whole bunch of people coming through. They don't want to play the game of, hey, we got it listed, and then 30
Yes.
days later you're coming back and like talking us down on the price. And
Yep.
they were moving with their family. They lived in Pittsburgh. They were moving to Washington State, so that's literally the other side of the country.
Yeah.
They said, hey, we'll give you a fair price if you just make this easy. So that
Right.
was one situation there. Another one was um, actually this person inherited a home. So they
Yeah.
had their home they're living in, and they inherited the wife's from the wife's family. They inherited another home in the
Right.
same neighborhood. Their house was bad. Like
Okay.
you walked in, it was a hoarder house. We had three 30-yard dumpsters worth of garbage we had to
Yeah.
remove from the house. Um,
Got it.
but in their situation, they wanted convenience because they were moving to another house, but they couldn't sell their house in its current condition and they didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to clean it out. They didn't want to remodel. So I was able to come across and say, hey, you know what? Take whatever you want
Exactly.
and I'll deal with the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same with one of my later purchases as well. So imagine that you're buying more than 2,000, well, actually, to convert for you, 20,000 square feet of space.
That's pretty big.
Leave what you want. Like, woo!
Yeah.
We were finding stuff over the first decade, like okay, an old painting from 17th century, and this old whatever, and we're still finding stuff. It's quite interesting. Uh,
You do find interesting things in the houses when people leave them.
yeah, yeah. No, we found like a complete drug factory. We found weapons. We found a safe that didn't have so much exciting content as we wished, and and you never know. Yeah,
Safes are
yeah,
fun. I've never
yeah,
found a safe that had like stuff in it,
yeah,
but it's always like, I wonder what's in there. And then
yeah,
you get a
exactly.
locksmith to help you open it.
And in the process, you destroy the flash drive, which was a cold storage for 1,000 bitcoins. Too bad.
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna move away from real estate for a second if you are absolutely not interested in that, and we will jump into the other thing which we have not touched upon yet. SEO and maybe AI SEO. Can you take us a little bit on a journey there, what people can do and so on?
Sure.
And please make it
So
practical
SEO,
if possible. Yeah.
say that one more time.
Please make it as practical as possible, please.
Yep, 100%. So SEO in the past was you're optimizing your website. So basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to let the search engine understand exactly what your website is about,
Yeah.
and you're trying to build authority on your website. So the way we would do that is we would change the text on the, say, the title tags and meta descriptions on your website and your body content.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to rank for buy yellow shoes, we would have buy yellow shoes in the title, meta
Yes.
description, in the body content. It would be like, okay, this specific page is for people that want to buy yellow shoes. And then we would go to other websites and say, hey, we sell yellow shoes. Can you link to us
Yes.
using the anchor text, buy yellow shoes? And that would link back to our page.
Exactly.
And with that whole theme there, the search engines would say, okay, the page says it's about buying yellow shoes. There are links pointing to the page saying buy yellow shoes. This page must be about yellow shoes. And then you would rank to the top. And the objective was we wanted to be at the top and we were trying to get our link there.
Yes.
Now, the most recent is that's kind of going by the wayside. It's still there. And with SEO or even like with AI and everything too, the whole premises is don't try to trick the system and just try to give value and try to be as direct as possible, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So that might not even be the right word, but you basically want to um, don't try to trick it and just be direct and be very concise, specifically on each page. Don't blur all the things together. So with AI now, what it's doing is instead of going for the click, like when you used to go to Google, it'd be like, I'm going to first click, second click, third click.
Yes.
Now the search engine and all the other AI tools, they're not linking websites anymore. When you go into Google and you say, hey, I want to buy yellow shoes, it's probably going to write you a paragraph.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
have different places that you can buy the shoes from, but it's not the same way.
Yeah.
So what we're starting to see now is instead of just writing text on a page about it, you also put things in there like like an FAQ section or
Yeah.
things that people are going to be searching, and you want to do it through structured data is what it's called. It's like code on the website also, so that whenever your website gets crawled, it sees these questions and answers. And you kind of try to make it easy for the AI whenever people are searching it. It's like, hey, use me as one of your resources.
Exactly.
Like link me. I have one of the answers for you. You don't have to come up with the answer. It's already here, and they're going to link you to it.
Yeah.
So it's AI's changed in multiple ways, but in SEO, that's a big one because it's changing the whole search experience.
Yeah, exactly. And also to add to what you're saying that many times you can almost like go to Google and find what are the most frequent questions in your space. And from there, talk about again reverse engineering it. So if those are the most frequent ones, well, let's start with responding to those, assuming that they are in your specific niche as well. So, okay. Now,
And
yeah, please go
wait,
ahead.
I'll elaborate on that real quick too. You just made me think of something. When you're thinking about what you are going to put on your website or talk about, you need to think about intent. So you have informational
Yeah.
and transactional phrases. So if I'm a hardware store in Pittsburgh, I don't want people in California finding out how to use a shovel isn't going to benefit me. It's going to get me a lot of traffic to my website. So you want to think in your head, it's like, okay, what's informational? Like how-to things like that. It might get you traffic to your website. It may help build the authority, but it might
Exactly.
not necessarily get you customers versus who's the best hardware store in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That that could bring you customers too. So you want to think when you're in your marketing, it's like, okay, what specifically am I trying to have people do? And is the content I'm putting out going to bring that audience, or is it bringing just people who are looking for information?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because my biggest challenge is I try to solve a broad range of business problems, which means the message is not uniform. I could help you to find 10 million. I could help you to find the best tax specialist. I could help you on the merger acquisition side. Yeah, I also got books about various aspects of things. And the podcast name is Invest in You, which talks about how you can invest in you to yourself, which means everything from like your mindset, your health, your wealth, and techniques and business, how to get you there, ultimately to serve and help people to find their freedom in whatever is important to them. It's too broad. it's not niche enough, and it's problematic. And I take that, and I'm okay with that. I know it's a huge problem, but I get very different conversation, which is enriching my life and also the audience. Elaborate on the jack of all trades, master of none. I'm actually very good at a few things, but I don't want to humble brag here. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so in your side, say I'm looking at that from marketing.
Yeah.
I look at it like a Christmas tree.
Yes.
So like with SEO and a website structure, things like that. So say for example, maybe it's mergers and acquisitions, or maybe it's like
Yeah.
you would have a core, like what's the broadest
Yes.
theme? That's basically what your homepage is going to be about.
Yep.
Your homepage covers everything, but then the next step in, you're going to have maybe like 3 pages. One of them's on taxes, one of them's on funding,
Yep.
one of them's on whatever that is. And then underneath those, the tax one gets niche.
Yeah.
So every page is only going to be about specifically what it is, or the funding is going to be about, is it real estate funding,
Yeah.
or is it acquiring business funding, or
Yeah.
is it finding partners? And then what you do is you end up getting down to every single page is very niche
Yeah.
specific,
I'm with you.
but the whole website as a theme
Yes.
is broad, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's a really good way to frame it. Let's talk about frameworks that people can benefit from. So we spoke about SEO. We used like real estate as one angle, one example. We spoke about how to get people in your direction. What people dream about and read about is like almost like customers on demand, a tap. We can just like turn on the lead flow. There are lots of AI tools out there that many people are promising and over promising in this aspect. I've been working with lead generation for more than 25 plus years because I've been in business for longer than that. How can you create a lead generation machine to your own business? And feel free to interpret that any way you want.
Okay, so depends on the business. So again, you're going to think back, okay, who's my audience? And
Yes.
then you think, where are they hanging out? You know, like for example, say we talk about real estate. If I'm looking to buy houses, I can find those people on Facebook. If
Yep.
I'm looking to buy apartment complexes, people that own big corporations aren't clicking a Facebook ad and looking to sell
Yes.
their property. They're going to their
Exactly.
property manager or their agents or their network. So it's like, okay, think about what is your industry and where are those people hanging out at? Then what you want to do, we'll talk about Facebook just because
Yep.
Facebook's a pretty broad platform. You want to create content, and you want to create content that looks genuine, because on Facebook, you're interrupting people. So it's like you have the feed and you're putting videos or images inside of their family and friends or whatever it
Yep.
is. And when I talk about Facebook, it's technically called Meta now, but it's Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
So what you want to do is think about, okay, what is my audience? And you want to create multiple different content. I know a lot of people are shy about being on camera. If you're in the lead generation space, put yourself on camera, because when that person sees the ad, they see you and you're the person they talk to, your credibility automatically bumped up.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, hey, we buy houses or whatever it is. Hey, you know what? We do insurance. I'm a local insurance broker. My family helps with this or whatever it is. So to answer your question on lead generation, if you want to get into it, you don't need much. You need a phone, or you need images, which you can create images really easily, especially with AI now, like ChatGPT, Claude. There's a website that's called kie.ai. And what it's nice about that one for images and videos are there's no monthly subscription. So you get access to Claude, you get access to ChatGPT, Nano, Banana, you get access to all of them, and you only pay tokens, and it might cost you 14 cents for an image or something.
Yeah.
So you can make those ads also. But then what you want to do is you want to create content, put it on Meta, run some ads, and then you want to look at the data. And what you want to look at too is you want to track the KPIs, not to go too far down the weeds, but you want to look at, okay, what's your cost per lead? But more importantly, what's your cost per appointment?
Yeah.
Or what's your cost per contract?
Yes.
Because those are the main numbers, because you can get leads really cheap. But if you get leads that just want to know, if you're in a real estate space, how much my house is worth,
Yeah.
nobody wants those leads because they're never going to turn into money. So you want to look and track your KPIs to like what's an actual qualified lead and a qualified purchase.
Yeah, you already respond to the next question, which was a follow from lead to qualified to actual intent to actually the purchase or transaction, whatever that might mean. So yeah, that's cool. I'm talking a lot about trust, and the higher the level of trust, the faster this transaction and faster these steps can happen. From your experience, why can trust, for example, online trust, speed up everything for you and your business?
Trust is big because you figure, okay, say we're talking about meta ads. Somebody that they don't know who you are. They
Yes.
just saw an ad. And the way meta works is it's going to show you ads of things you're looking for. So if you're looking for shoes, you're going to see a whole bunch of shoes. If you're
Yeah.
looking for insurance, you're going to see ads on insurance.
Indeed.
And like every fourth post will be a different company advertising the same thing for you.
Yeah.
So you can differentiate yourself with, say, for example, like we were talking about putting yourself on a video. You can put testimonials on your website also,
Yeah.
because when people come through, they just saw 5 ads of people saying the same thing. How are you going to level yourself up to be like, you know what, I can actually deliver on
Yes.
what I'm telling you? And testimonials and things like that are a really good way to do that.
Yeah, and also we got local or global or local. If you're local in your business, it's so much easier to rank higher versus try to own a space globally. Can you elaborate on some of the super basic tools? I know the answer, but how you can be more visible locally. So everything from Pinterest
Sure.
to Google Maps and everything, please.
Yeah. So number one, like you just said, you have the Google Maps. Ranking local is way easier than like say life insurance.
Yeah.
Try to rank for buy life insurance in the United States or anywhere like big. That is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
You're competing against the big boys. But if you're trying to say, hey, you know what? Like I live in Bethel Park, that's the borough. Buy like life insurance in Bethel Park, it's maybe a 3 mile square radius.
Yeah.
I can rank in that. It's not going to bombard me with traffic, but I'm going to rank. And
Yeah.
same thing on Google Maps. You can rank in that section also. Plus, you can do Google ads locally as well in your area, even if it's an industry like life insurance, which is really competitive.
Yeah.
You're not paying $50 to $100 per click for everywhere. You're only paying in your market. So
Yeah.
it's a way to like really help you streamline and try to be profitable that way.
Yeah, no, really good point. I was just about to pull up here an example of people pitching me SEO services for interesting things that this podcast is like ranking as globally, and one of them is like entrepreneurial advice and also tax advice linked to many things. But in terms of investing or invest, it's not even on the top 100, even if we've been
Hmm.
going like for years, because it's such a crowded space and I don't need to be in that space either, because that's not ultimately not what I'm selling or doing anyway. Yeah, yes, I'm investing, but I don't sell any services linked to that any longer. Okay, cool. Yeah, thinking about starting with anything. Now I'm jumping back to digital marketing here. How can you stop the scrolling, get the attention with some kind of hook to allow them to understand this is actually relevant to you? AI will, of course, help them to find your stuff, whatever that might be, because of their interests. But how to make them stop beyond having like just a big red screen with angry words, which is one way to do it.
Yeah. So the way I have found to get people to stop is you
Yeah,
need to think back to the audience again. What's the hook?
yeah, exactly.
Right. So, and I've also seen bright colors. So,
Yes,
like, so you're going to test things. It's called A/B testing. So, what I do is we're going to make, say, 10 ads, and we may make 5 ads, and then we make 5 variations and change one
yes,
thing in each of those. And then we're going to run them all and we're going to test. And it's going to say, okay, you know what? Maybe the red background gets us a great cost per lead, but the leads are crappy.
yeah,
Or maybe it's really good. And we're going to take that data and know, okay, what's working. But what we're going to do is we're going to get a hook, which a hook is just the initial, like, let's talk about a video. If you make a video, the first 2 seconds of that video's job is to sell the person to listen to the next 5 seconds.
I know.
In the
Yeah,
next 5 seconds is to sell them to listen to 10. So the hook is that first 2 seconds. It's like, hey, did you know you can sell your house fast for cash without a realtor? Then you're just trying to catch them It's like,
Yes.
okay, I'm curious now. And then you're going to tell them, okay, what's next? So in every industry, you want to think, okay, what catches people's interest and not what is everybody saying also, because people become uh immune to like the same thing
Yeah,
over and over.
exactly.
So you want to think, okay, what's a really good hook? And then do that. And then the same thing if we're in video also, if we're local, number one, they'll hear your accent. Number two, if you're making videos or images too, and you're dealing with a local service, maybe put something local in there. Like if you're from Orlando, Florida, have a picture of the Disneyland castle or a Disney World castle or
Yeah,
like different things that local people relate to. Like in Pittsburgh, we're not going to use palm trees in our ads, but in
yeah, exactly.
Florida, they're not using evergreen trees.
Yeah, I mean,
So different things like
yeah,
that.
I'm completely with you. So right now, for example, I'm in India, and if I post a picture with like India Gate, which is like the big arch in Delhi, uh, all of a sudden I will get a lots of views. Or if I now post the lake where I'm at the moment, yeah, same thing there. Just because it's a feature, people can recognize it, or they might want to go there or whatever, which is not at all linked to your message, but at least they stop for the first few seconds. So yeah, it is very interesting to see and to play around with things. But the most important thing beyond playing around is to measure and to try to see what actually works and then double down on that one. So I know many people who are smarter than me or think more simplistically than me. Like, okay, this one was a killer. Let's do that one again with different colors, with a different tag or whatever, and refine and tweak it even further. So yeah, there are many smart people talking about how to do this out there. Yeah. So can you think about an
Right.
example where you had a campaign that was really working and you just like tweaked it a little bit and it was also delivering instead of
So
doing something new the entrepreneurial way, just reinvent the wheel?
yeah, so that's a double-edged sword.
I know.
So I have learned in business when something's working, it, don't break it,
Yeah.
especially with online marketing. So if I have a campaign working really well, a lot of times I will not touch that campaign because because it's like I want it to do better, but also you touch it and then it just goes to crap sometimes too. So
Yeah.
what I'll do is say it's in Meta. If we have a campaign, maybe we'll duplicate the campaign and run one alongside of it with
Yeah.
something different versus touching the original one just because marketers and I think just humans in general are curious people and we always think we can do better.
Yes.
So what you want to look at in your campaign is like say you have one campaign with three ad sets, which are like buckets inside of the campaign. Say two of the ad sets are doing really well and one's doing poorly. A lot of times somebody might pause that third one, which could be the right answer. But then one way of thinking about it is you look globally. It's like, okay, what is my cost per lead or my
Yeah.
cost per acquisition or whatever on all three of those?
Yes.
And is that acceptable? And if it is, leave it go. If it's not, then you make a decision because what happens is sometimes you pause that third one, you just change the whole structure of the campaign now, and sometimes it will go sideways. So it's things like that. I don't know if that answers your question. I went a
Yeah,
little
no, no,
sideways.
it's valuable. The same thing there. You have a campaign is working. The most common way to do it for most people is like, okay, like let's boost it. But when you boost it, you might or might not send to the same audience, which means you might boost it and you might not get the same result. So that's another aspect there. So when you add ad spend, the audience might not be the same. So the settings there and everything else is super interesting and important to pay attention to. Why would I say that?
Well, then that's a really good point too. Some people will say you're spending, I don't know, $100 a day or $1,000 a day or whatever you're spending on your campaign, and it's going well. It's like, okay, we want to scale this thing. We want to get 10 times the money. So say we're spending $100 just for
Yeah.
an even number. Some people will say, okay, I want to bump this to 250 and then $500. That'll completely break your campaign most of the time, like you're saying, because you just took because Facebook's just an algorithm. It's
Yeah.
built on AI on that side also. So it's like, okay, it knows which people to show the ad to for $100 a day. Well, if you 2.5x that,
Yeah.
now it's grasping and it says, okay, I have all this extra budget and I need to show it to people, but it went too quick. And a lot of times you're just showing ads to people that are
Yes.
just going to click. What I recommend and what I've seen working is if you want to scale something, do it in 20% increments. So it's like you have to be patient. It's like, okay, I'm $100 a day. Let me bump it to $120 and wait a couple days. If it still looks good, then I'm going to bump it to like 145 or something. Just keep bumping in 25 or 20% increments
Yeah, I'm with you.
to let it learn. And then, because a lot of times too, there is going to be a tipping point. Like there's a tipping point when you maxed out the market, and then you have a decision. Do you keep the low cost per lead, or are you okay spending more per cost per lead? Because with scale, your cost per lead is going to go up too. So you also have to decide that, not when you're starting,
Yes.
but keep that in mind too. If you're in an industry that's like a small industry,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might only be able to spend so much.
Cool. Right. For those of you who try to follow my thinking, congratulations, you will not succeed because I'm jumping to a new track again. So most people that get into real estate investing have some kind of like they read a book or went to a course or they might have a coach or mentor or some kind of peer group. That is the usual way to do it, especially if you're going to do like more than one investment. Uh, so with that said, what was kind of your entry into thinking about real estate investing in the first place? And then how did you progress from there? I spent a lot of money on learning quick, so we bought things worth more than 5 million in year one when we did it more actively. So what was your route to get into this, with or without numbers?
So my route was I was about 17 or 18 years old, and my dad took me to it was a hotel.
Great.
And they do these big seminars, and the
Yeah.
guy's name was Ron LeGrand. I don't know if you know who he is.
No,
And
no, but probably people in the US would. Yeah.
right, so he gives a presentation. It's like a whole day workshop, how to get into real estate, use none of your own money, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
Yes.
this sounds awesome. So I
Yeah.
don't have any money. I'm just like in high
Exactly.
school, maybe right out of high school.
Yeah.
But in the back of the room, you could buy all the secrets for
Exactly.
$1,800.
I know.
Yep. So I pull out a credit card, buy this course, and I listen to it and go through it all. And at this time, we're putting ads in newspapers.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yes.
the physical paper.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Uh, so we put ads in there, and I followed it, put in the ads. We buy houses, got the phone numbers, sent some postcards, and I had a whole bunch of people calling me that wanted to sell their house.
Yeah.
Problem was, I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I know what you
So it's
mean.
like, okay, they want to sell their house. I'm 18 years old. I got zero money. So I'm trying to do the system, and I failed. It didn't work for me.
Yes.
So, and that was back then. But the key was, the information was now in my head.
Yeah.
So fast forward, say 10, 15 years, I had some deals pop up, and I did start making money. And I bought my first property, and I remembered all this stuff. I
Yeah.
remember what wholesalers are, I remember what everyone's doing. And that's how I got into real estate. It was like 15 years
Yeah,
later,
that's okay. That works.
you know? Yeah. So, and I just started like my first property I bought for $30,000,
Yeah.
and um, I maybe put 40 into it, and it's probably worth like 140 or something.
Yeah.
So you figure it's like I doubled my money on my first deal. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And then I went to the bank, borrowed the money. I didn't borrow the whole value back, but I
Yeah.
borrowed my cash that I put into
Yes.
it. They call it the Burr method.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought my second property,
Yeah. Got it.
which is kind of cool. And then I accumulated like over 20 properties, kind of just rolling the same money. And
Yeah.
every property was I only had a loan on them for like 60% of what they were worth. So they had a lot of equity in them.
That's good.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's how I got into real estate.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many ways to do it. I've been helping many hundreds of people to become like financially free in the UK because I was taught well and I learned I was a good student and then I was a good teacher because I'm good from teaching since before. So I think one of my better case studies, a family I mentor, they went from 5 million to 10 million in less than 1 year just by having someone whispering in their ear. So yeah, there are many good things you can do. And the more strategies you know, the more opportunities you see. But coming back to again being specialized and double down on like one thing that works instead of do everything. So yeah, you might rent for some kind of like service accommodation. You might do like no money down deals. You might do flipping. There's so many things to do, and this is not what we're going to do in this episode. But yeah, there are many ways to make money and lose money in real estate. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, good. But most people, if you just do the simple thing like not wait and then buy. If you instead do buy and then wait, that usually works good for real estate over time. What's your
And a
simple cheating rule? Yeah, go ahead.
funny thing with you saying that too is every property I bought, I was second guessing.
Yeah,
Wait a minute, is this overpriced? Things like that. And then when you
yeah,
look backwards, it's
yeah.
like, you know what? That was an awesome deal. But it's
Exactly.
easy to get cold feet and think it's overpriced or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there are many people who say like, well, pay market or even over market if you're going to do it for long term anyway. I'm still stuck in this scarcity mindset. I like to make it a good deal when I'm buying because then you lock in a buffer. As long as all parties are happy with that, I'm cool with that. But every deal is unique. Every conversation is different. So yeah, no, I like real estate as an asset class. Very much. At the moment, it's not my main focus, but I still luckily got all the skills and knowledge for when it's time to do that again. So
Right.
what's
And
your
it's
yeah,
like a job too.
yeah, you turned it into a job. If you got like 20 units, that's usually at least a good part-time job, usually.
Right.
So what excites you in business at the moment?
I like the unknown. So I
Yeah,
like problem solving and I like
yes,
figuring things out. And then I like to delegate them.
yeah,
So I like to find like a whole bunch of dots and then connect them together
yeah,
and then basically, yeah, craft something, put it in a bow, and then give it to somebody else to try to do it. And then
yes,
keep moving like that.
yeah. No, that's great. So you got behind you a couple of signs there. We buy houses and a few other ones. Which is your favorite sign behind you for people who don't see what I can see? Feel free to turn around if you have forgotten.
That's probably this one right over. Oh, this one.
Any of
Coffee's for
them. It can
closers.
be about coffee. It can be any of them. Which one do you
Yeah,
like the
coffee's
most
for
and why?
closers is probably my
Coffee.
favorite.
Yeah, got it. Yeah,
That's from a movie.
I know. Yeah,
Um,
old school.
it's a really good sales movie. Yep.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, ultimately, if you're in entrepreneurship, if you like to grow, if you're like on partner level or whatever, even if you have never been selling, all of a sudden you understand that now you're at a level where you are really selling. And usually you're not selling only for yourself, but you're selling for the whole pack or people behind you. So influencing skills can be useful, especially when used in an ethical way. So yeah,
Right.
great stuff. So podcast name is Invest in You. What does that mean to you?
Invest in you. That would mean to me investing in yourself. Normally, like I look at it as investing in yourself, your brain. So I
Yeah,
read a lot of books. I read the Bible, but I'm constantly trying to um, learn and get different ways to think about things. And I also find too, like I'm reading the guys, listening on Audible. Did you ever hear Jim Rohn?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just listening to people like that, it gives you ideas. It's like I'm not necessarily getting the information out of the book sometimes, but the book is triggering an idea in my head
Yes.
that I can then take action on.
Yeah,
So it's like you keep your brain going. You want to have faith. You want to be healthy. Like you have to invest in yourself too, because
yeah,
it doesn't do you any good to accumulate a whole business and then die from a heart attack. And then family. It's like you got to have the balance and
yeah,
with family or friends or whatever that is too. So it's like finding the balance, but constantly pushing not to just make money or just do business. It's like make yourself good. So even if you lost it all, like with the real estate, I learned something 15 years later. I still have it,
yeah,
even though I failed. And
yeah.
then you get to use it in the future.
Yeah, have that quote in your head and listen to our episode number 16, and you will see someone else saying exactly the same thing. Like, I can lose everything, but check out who it might be. You would know,
I
you will
will.
recognize the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, especially in real estate. Cool. So, where can people find out more about yourself? I will have some more SEO questions, but where can people find out about you and your business, or businesses in this case?
Sure. LinkedIn, you can look me up, Bryan, Bryan Driscoll. My website is motivatedleads.com.
Yeah.
And basically all the main social channels.
Perfect. Cool. Of course, that will be linked as well. So, now we are back to ground zero. You are hinting your younger self, like how can you use today's crazy AI world, opportunities everywhere, distractions everywhere, to pick a direction and a brand and start to like build SEO AI from scratch? Where would you start? Because there's so many ideas out there, too many at the moment.
Right. And you're right. It is overwhelming. So I would say to my younger self, pick something and stick with it.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I say that, and to even elaborate on that, pick something and do it really well versus I see a lot of people that are like, hey, you know what? I just went on to Claude Cowork or Claude Code and I made this whole system
Yeah.
and I spent like 40 hours doing this and you got an awesome dashboard, but did it take you to your goal? Like, it's like, I think a lot of people right now are getting caught up on feeling smart, making things, but they're not actually, it's kind of like doing a hobby stuff. It's for
Yeah.
fun. So I would say if I'm looking at things, it's like, okay, set aside time. It's like, okay, I'm messing around with AI to learn maybe, or this is a hobby, or I'm trying to buy back time. It's like think in your head, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
And then do it. For example, in my business, it's like, okay, if I'm going to do something on AI, what's the purpose? Is it going to save me time or do something better? Then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I did get caught up, and I think everyone got caught up too. It's like, you know what? I do this every day, like a specific action, like running financials or whatever.
Yes.
And instead of me just using the tool to run financials and like help me look at or do math or whatever, I get excited. It's like, you know what? I'm going to build a whole tool that I can just go in and ask it questions about my financials every day. And
Yeah.
that's where I see a lot of people making a wrong turn. They're saying, okay, instead of me just helping progress where I'm at, it's like I now want to be a tech company making things with AI. Maybe I'm not skilled to do that, or
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of your time. And then you find yourself, it's like, wait a minute, I'm working so hard and I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm broke.
Yeah.
So I would say just be very, very intentional because there's new stuff popping up every single day. Like limit yourself. It's like, okay, maybe 30 minutes a day, I play with new AI things with the intention on how can I use this in my life to help me, not
Yeah.
just to feel good.
There's never been a better time than today to sell first, build later. What do I mean by that? Uh, Try if there is any like interest from the market before you build something, and ideally people will prepay as well for something in part or in full. And now you can do it because now someone would actually like to have it. Same thing, something I see which usually very helpful is some kind of like score card or filter so they can get something valuable from you. That's also a very good lead generation where people can like learn something and then can decide to deal with you later or not. It's up to them. What is something else that you see working well at the moment? And I do hate comment banana and I will send you the stuff on whatever social media, but I hate that. And I refuse to do it.
Right. I do see some people doing well with like school groups
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
basically delivering value. So it's like email marketing's good.
Yes.
So it's like say for example, you're saying, um, fill out my form and I'm going to give you the free template or whatever.
Yep.
Well, what you did is you just now captured their email. It's the
Exactly.
difference of say with Facebook, if you're running ads, you're renting space there.
Yeah.
But once you capture that email, now you own that data. So you can market to them for free. So
Exactly.
if you're in your lead generation space, it's like, okay, what is something that I can give away for free that piques the interest? And it's called a marketing funnel. It's like,
Yep.
what can I do broadly that's going to pique interest and get me in front of that person for free? They put in their email or whatever, and I send them this report. But
Yeah.
now I have their email address. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them other things that are beneficial to them.
Yep.
And some of them are going to have call to actions. It's like, hey, well, if you're interested in more of this, book a call.
Yeah.
And I, especially in the education space, I see this a lot. It's like I can give you something for free. Then I can sell you the book for 10
Yep.
bucks.
Yep.
Some people are good reading the book. Most people don't want to read. So
Yep.
they're like, okay, I can sell you the video now for 500 bucks, saying the same thing that you could have got
Yeah.
for 10
Exactly.
bucks.
Yes.
But it's like finding, and then you can go the whole way up to coaching.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Exactly.
know what? I'm going to help you one on one. So it's like finding those people because
Yep.
there's specific people for every one of those scenarios. So it's like if you're in the lead generation space in that way, sell everybody the book. The book now shows you know what you're doing. A lot of people don't want to read it though. They want to watch the
Yep.
video.
Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
like then you can take a section of those people and it's like, hey, you know what? If reading's not your thing, I made it real easy for you. Just watch this. And then
Yeah.
some
Exactly.
people, yeah, and some people just want to do the one-on-one. So it's like
Exactly.
that's really good point there.
Yeah, exactly. Or you even have like people in-house and you offer like the whole do it for you solution, which has got a extra big price tag as well. So I remember many years ago I wrote a book with my youngest son. He must have been like 12 at the time, 12, 13, something like that. And it was like how to make money as a teenager. In the end of the day, we didn't publish the book, but the book was like basically lots of links to YouTube where you can find videos. And in the end, what we really did deliver on was, and that got the most attention because we launched this on Kickstarter many years ago. Kickstarter.com was actually, I don't want the book, I don't want the extra things, but I do want the time where I as a teenager will go to the course. My mom or dad will have to be in the back of the room and they will just be quiet. And that was really fun to run because some of the people in the room, their parents might want them to become entrepreneurs, but one of them actually, after some more like coaching element of the training, was very apparent that no, he likes to be an engineer and go to space. Not at all an entrepreneur, which means like dad has got completely different wrong plans for him versus what he wanted to do himself. So yeah, you have no idea what people want, and people do change direction, and people pivot and change for lots of reasons as well. So lately, this last 1 year, we had more AI content than ever, of course. I had that as a little element of every podcast. So I don't want to steal more of your time. You can ask a question to yourself or to me about anything and respond to it, or let me respond, because we can.
Nice. What's your favorite book?
Ah. The one I'm working on writing at the moment next. So that can be a different book. So at the moment, I'm writing a book of 1023 ways to increase the value of a business, which is sounding overwhelming. But chapter one will be like, do these three things and you don't need to read the rest of the book. And I'll give away
Okay.
the chapter for free, that chapter for free later. And for those who are geeky, can read the rest. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting too, because it's going to break down into, so it sounds like a lot of things, but
Yeah,
then it's like, but
it's too many things, and that's the whole thing. It just shows where the levers you can pull and the levers that, for example, private equity would pull if they were to acquire your business. So it means that now you know what they are, so you can actually pull the few selected ones you want yourself, and many times multiply the value of your company before the private equity people get their teeth into your business. So yeah, making a few millions in an extra year is worth it.
right, it's 100% worth it. And then, like you're saying too, it's like, okay, we got 1,000 something, but
Yep.
pick one. You do one,
Exactly.
then you
Which
do the
one you
next
like?
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Good one. All right. So people listening to us from all over the world, there is this old trick that if you liked anything here, you can actually tell your friend about it, and it's called a referral and helping someone else and pay it forward. I will not ask for anything else this time. Last two words from your side.
I would say if you have an idea, get out there and just start doing it and don't think about it. Just jump in the pool. It's the water's warm.
Just do it.